Friday. Friday. Who remembers that song, eh? Everybody hated that song, but I love that song. They call it one of the worst songs of all time. It's Friday. But yeah, will Facebook cancel this? They will mute the sound. Bibo Bonfesum Soba, my phone is ringing again. You see what happens when you're doing things live, eh? Phones keep ringing, you put them on silent, but we're still showing the exhibitors. Bibo Bonfesum Soba, Corporate Communications Officer of the Higher Education Authority. Yesterday we showed you the number of exhibitors that are here, and today one of my favorite people in the whole wide world brought her people. So her people are my people because she's my person. Should I tell them your nickname? She's blushing. Fun to her. She's blushing. We're at the TCZ stand, and I'll leave you in the capable hands of Ms. Coretta Soko, who will introduce her team, who will introduce her people, and we are gonna do this. Ms. Soko, tell us about TCZ. Why did you support the Indaba? Why are you here? Why aren't you in Lusaka? Why are you here? You just love Livingstone. No, it's not about Livingstone, but she's gonna tell us shortly. Ms. Soko, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Coretta Soko, the Public Relations and Communications Officer from the Teaching Council of Zambia. So we are here attending the 2025 Higher Education Indaba, of course supporting the Higher Education Authority in a capacity as a regulator of teachers both in the private and public sector. On the stand with me I have Dr. Piri, who is our registration and standards officer. Dr. Given Piri deals with anything to do with registration and standards in the Teaching Council of Zambia in the southern region. We also have Noria there, Mutinta. She's our assistant in the registration and standards office, and is also very well capable in handling all the issues that come or queries that come at the Teaching Council of Zambia. So if you must know, as a council, we are mandated to regulate the teaching profession, their practice and professional conduct. What does this mean? It means that the Teaching Council of Zambia is in charge of regulating the teaching profession. We look at how teachers regulate themselves, conduct themselves in schools. We have issues of standards of practice. We have issues of the code of ethics. And before somebody is called a teacher, they have to do two registration processes, and these are teacher registration, which is more detailed, where a teacher is supposed to tender in an application with verified academic and professional qualifications, certified NRC, and then once they do that online, mind you, all our applications are online. The process, the application will go to our registration and standards officers. A good example is Dr. Piri I told you about, and then they'll go through the application. Once they meet the criteria, once that application meets the criteria, that person is registered. From then on, they are called a teacher, and they have a TCZ number, and they will be in the national register. That's the first process of being a professional teacher and what TCZ requires. So before a teacher interfaces with the learners, we require that they apply for the practicing license or practicing certificate. What is it? It is a legal document or entity that allows a teacher to stand in the class and interface with the learners. For example, I am licensed with ZIPRAC. I cannot do any PR job or communications job without being licensed by ZIPRAC. It's the same with teachers. They are required to apply for the practicing certificate or practicing license every 3 years. Right now, our act is still under review, but that will change soon once everything is finalized. But currently, our act, the Teaching Profession Act number 5 of 2013, states that a teacher who is interfacing with the learner, whether a teacher, an education administrator, a special education teacher, they all need to apply for the practicing license. Now, here's the niche. Once the 3-term period has passed, a teacher is supposed to renew their license. Upon renewal, as a council, as a regulator, we require that the teacher submits their CPD credit points, continuing professional development points. What am I talking about? We are insisting on teachers to participate in continuing professional development activities so that we know as a council that they are upskilling, that they are just making sure that they're up to date with the teaching trends. And at the end of the day, we want quality education to be dispensed. So that's just about it, about our 2 registration processes. And then we make sure that our teachers go to attend these CPD activities. So going further, we are here at the Expo, at the 2025 Higher Education Indaba, to support the Higher Education Authority in terms of what the regulator brings to the table. What do we bring to the table? We want to make sure that our learners are getting good quality education. After all, our motto is quality education is our priority as the Teaching Council of Zambia. So we are here to just showcase our documents and tell the people that are attending and coming through to our stand to say, look, as a regulator, we are a friend to the teachers. As a regulator, we just want the teachers to just have that high esteem and respect that they've always had, and we want to maintain it and also elevate it. And we want to show these different universities and colleges of education that are here to say what we expect from them is that we need a fully baked teacher that is that will come up with cutting trends, technology, that will come up with good education skills, that will make sure that the child has that quality education. At the end of the day, what we want is the development for the whole country. So we really respect our teachers, we really treasure our teachers, and what we want is that as these teachers are going through these education programs, they are coming out fully baked, they are coming out with good intellect that will be dispensed to our learners. I think I would just like to tell you more about what we have on our stand. So we have literature like the social dialogue for the teaching profession in Zambia. I don't know whether you can catch this. This is a very good framework which entails how teachers are to conduct themselves when they are aggrieved or they want to tender in a research or anything. They cannot just go on Facebook and just say, I'm aggrieved or I'm not happy at my workplace. We have a structure which we have implemented through UNESCO as the Teaching Council of Zambia, the social dialogue framework, the social dialogue for the teachers in Zambia. So you will find this book on our stand, and it is very helpful for lecturers, for education administrators. It's also helpful for just anybody who's interested in the teaching academic. So we also have brochures on CPD, continuing professional development. Like I said earlier, Teaching Council of Zambia has gone online. We've digitalized everything. So any process you want to do is online. You just have to go to our teacher management system, TMIS, and apply for teacher registration, apply for licensing, renew, enter in your CPD credit points. Everything is digitalized. But we cannot completely run away from the hard copy or print, because there are people before Christ, our BBC, that really treasure reading. So we have literature on our stand also about question and answer, on social dialogue, on CPD, on standards of practice. We have all this information, and on how to apply online. We have all this information on our stand, and when somebody comes to our stand, they will get a full package of this information. You should also know that as a council, we support all inclusive education. What do we do? In my unit, we have a special needs communications officer who is hearing impaired. And what we do when you go online is that you will find videos that will cater for the blind and for the deaf teachers. We call it our all-inclusive special needs desk. And when you go on www.teacher.tcz.ac.zm or just on our website www.teacher.tcz.ac.zm, you will find these videos, and no one is left behind in the teaching fraternity. That information of anything they need is there. They'll watch it, they'll hear it, they'll download it. We have our policies, we have our code of ethics for the teaching profession online. So just go to our website, go through, come to our stand at the 2025 Higher Education Indaba, and get all the rich information that we have as a council, as a regulator for our teachers. Thank you so much for having us. Unless Dr. Piri has something to say to our teachers. By the way, I forgot to mention that we have decentralized to 4 regions. TCZ has 4 regions. We have the southern region, which caters for southern province and western province. We also have the Copperbelt region, which caters for Copperbelt and northwestern province. We also have the northern region, which caters for Mchinga, northern and Wapula provinces, and we have Lusaka region, which caters for eastern, Lusaka, and central provinces. So we haven't left anyone behind, and we have the call center numbers that will run on this live feed, I'm sure, so that you can call. We are just a phone call away. We don't want teachers to move from the comfort of their homes to come and just do something that they can easily do, or come to Lusaka, or that they can easily do on their phone, on their tablet, on their laptop, or on their computer. So maybe Dr. Perry has something to say for the southern region.
Don't worry. When it's live,
Thank you very much.
so we can even do this as well. That's what happens when you're doing it live. You fix it because it's live. It's live. You're still very handsome, sir. So you can still go on, sir.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Perry, the one in charge of registration and licensing. I'm the one who approves all the registration of teachers in Zambia, and also I'm the one who does the licensing of all the teachers in Zambia. If we see that your qualifications are not okay, we reject your application. So I'm the one responsible of doing all those things.
So,
but
Doctor, you're saying you're the one people should see.
yes, yes, yes. I reject whenever you are not qualified, you don't meet the required qualifications. It is rejected there and then.
You know what I love about that, Doc, is what you've said, that when you don't meet the required qualifications, and I love the pride with which you're saying you reject them, because we don't need underqualified teachers because of the importance that teachers play. Please just expand on that.
But take note, we usually communicate to the recipients. If they are rejected and don't meet the qualifications, they'll be communicated to as to why they haven't been registered.
Because they're supposed to have 5 credits or better for them to be rejected, especially they need to have maths and English. If these subjects are not there, it's rejected there and then. And the qualifications have to be verified. If they are not verified with ECZ, then we cannot register them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madam Laureate, do you have anything to say on the TCZ stand? We cannot do without our office assistants. We cannot do without each and everyone. TCZ is a small workforce, and we regulate over 280,000 teachers countrywide, both in the public and the private sector. So we are here to support teachers. We are here to make sure that we have quality education as a nation, as a country, and we expect support from each and every stakeholder, from ECZ, higher education, ZAQUA, which other one am I missing? Hellsby, yeah, from all the education, from higher education authority, from Mr. So thank you so much for giving us this.
Oh my goodness. Imagine. On our live feed, I'm standing right in front of her. Palast. You see Easterners, the way Easterners are. Have you seen? But she's still my Miss Soko. Thank you so much. We're really grateful to Dr. Mbanga. First of all, your registrar. We're really grateful to your management for allowing you to come and support the higher education in Indaba. We're grateful that you're even presenting a paper here. Actually, as we speak, I think the bishop is presenting right now. So we're grateful for the support of the Teaching Council of Zambia. We're here at the higher education in Indaba. We were at the Teaching Council of Zambia stand. We've heard. So people in southern and western region, the person who's declining, we have seen him, we have met him, we have met the doc. But again, he did specify that if you don't meet the qualifications, if you do meet the qualifications, then they will approve, they will register you. But it's all about the quality of education being provided. The teachers are the backbone of everything. Doctors, anybody, anyone where you want to become in life, the teachers are the backbone. And I think they're our unsung heroes, because most of the times they go unrecognized. But I remember my grade 7 teacher, he really influenced my life where I'm standing today. He told me that one day you'll be on Facebook, even though by then Facebook was not created. You see how good teachers are. He told me, and now I'm famous standing next to Miss Soko. Thank you so much. We're still visiting the stands. Next up, we'll be having the ECZ, which Teaching Council of Zambia actually mentioned, not the Electoral Commission of Zambia, but the Examination Council of of Zambia, and we'll be talking to Mr. Nkua. So we'll be back right after this.
Let's build the industries that power our economy. Let's empower small businesses and help them grow. Let's help you save and invest for tomorrow. Let's build a community where young people innovate and thrive and contribute to a greener, sustainable future. Together, let's make it happen. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible. Let's build the industries that power our economy. Let's empower small businesses and help them grow. Let's help you save and invest for tomorrow. Let's build a community where young people innovate and thrive and contribute to a greener, sustainable future. Together, let's make it happen. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Bibo Boniface Msoba, Corporate Communications Officer of the Higher Education Authority. We are back again. We're visiting the stands at the Higher Education Indaba. We're so grateful, and I'm about to introduce people that surprise us. HA receives so much support, but when people have been having a very big conference, an international conference, they were taxed and maxed out to the core, but yet when you need them, they show up. They say, what is being tired? What is being tired if we need to be there for the people that we support? And I'm talking about the Examination Council of Zambia, and in particular, Mr. Nicholas Nkua, the Manager, Corporate Communications for the Examination Council of Zambia. We're just so grateful, Mr. Nkua, that the Examination Council of Zambia, following the very successful and very big conference that you had last week, this week you're here supporting the Higher Education Authority, exhibiting at the Higher Education Indaba. So first of all, allow us to say thank you very much to your director, and then also to the management of the Examination Council of Zambia for this immense support. So please, as you tell us you can maybe run us down for how the conference went, and then also you're here this week again. Why that support? Why did ECZ decide to support the Indaba? You could have just said, no, we are tired, and Zambia would have understood. You did something for national service. Mr. Nkoa, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Msoba. Absolutely grateful as Examinations Council of Zambia, joining the Higher Education Authority here at the Higher Education Authority Indaba 2025, the first of its kind. And as the Examinations Council of Zambia, and of course talking about the conference that we recently held, it was an international conference of the International Association for Educational Assessment, and that was the Golden Jubilee Conference for the association, which was held right here where we are at Avani Victoria Falls Resort. So the conference went on very well. We had a turn-up of over 350 delegates, both locally and internationally accredited delegates. And so the conference delved into so many topics looking at how we can improve educational assessment, and we shared quite a lot of best practices with the nations that came. Over 31 countries were present at that conference. And looking at why we have joined HEA Indaba this year, basically we work in the education sector and we support the growth and development of our education system. And as you may be aware, our main mandate is to set and conduct examinations and award certificates that are of comparable international standard. And so this is very important for us, and joining the HEA in this particular prestigious event, the Indaba, is to make sure that whilst the discussions are going on in terms of addressing the challenges and developmental issues that are really pertinent to higher education, as ECZ we come in, because you know that we support higher education through the assessments that we conduct in channeling the candidates that pass our examinations to go further in improving on their journey of education. So we are here as ECZ. Of course, we are at our stand where we are showcasing the values and different services that we do offer as Examinations Council of Zambia. Talk of the self-service portal, our innovation that was internally developed to address issues of service provision. We exist in all the 10 provinces of Zambia, and we have an office in each of those provinces. But we realize that our services are much sought after, and so we cannot afford to be in all the areas in terms of the rural areas, the districts. And so we innovated to bring forward the self-service portal, which is very key in terms of our service delivery to the people. I think we are a customer-centric institution that always listens and wants to deliver quality services to the people. And that is what we have done with the introduction of the self-service portal. So the system is available for everyone to use. We are encouraging on all those that are listening to us and watching us to go on the self-service portal, create an account for free, and begin to access the different services that we have provided through this system. I think let me come down to the significance of our exhibiting at this Indaba. You realize that there are different higher education institutions that are here, and I think when they come through our stand, they will be able to learn also how they can actually integrate, their various systems with our systems in terms of what we do for confirmation of examination results. We want them to know how best they can identify forged results, and so that they can protect themselves from, enrollment of candidates that do not actually qualify to be enrolled in their higher education institutions. So this is very important, and we continue to interact with different stakeholders that are here, and us being at the center of secondary education assessment. We want to channel out as much information as possible with regards to our mandate as Examinations Council of Zambia. Very soon we are going into the examination period, conducting the end of year examinations. This is very important for every stakeholder to be aware of any schemes that anyone may try to bring forward in terms of affecting our examination process. So we encourage on all parents, learners to begin and continue to prepare for their assessments. This is very important, and we want to say that our assessments are not a trap. Our assessments are not a trap in any case. What we want to establish is how much has been taught, how much has been built in terms of skills and competences in our learners. We recently heard the government and we are already implementing the competence-based assessments or curriculum. So as this is said, we are also going into that area in terms of preparing competence-based assessments, and so we are doing so much, and we just want to call upon everyone who is attending this event here at the Indaba to come through our stand and see what we are offering. I think we will continue to support such innovations that are brought forth by the HEA, because we are a strategic partner, just as well they are our strategic partner. Thank you very much.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
For Zambia's brilliant minds in research and education, Zamren is more than an interest and libraries. Your learning stays.
Every dream begins with a spark, an unspoken passion. At Unilus, connection fuels purpose. Our students bring knowledge to life, empowering communities and solving real problems. Within our campus walls, creativity and practical knowledge come together, shaping solutions for today and leaders for tomorrow. At Unilus, we don't just dream, we act. Knowledge becomes impact. Passion becomes purpose. Your journey begins here.
The Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education, ZIALE, is a body corporate established by Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education Act, Chapter 49 of the Laws of Zambia. The flagship program is the Legal Practitioners Qualification Exam, LPQE course, which is meant for university law graduates wishing to be admitted to the Zambian bar. In addition, the LPQE course, another distinctive course offered by the Institute, is legislative drafting, leading to a postgraduate diploma certificate. one of the key distinguishing characteristics of the Institute is its interdisciplinary, pluralistic, and comparative approach to global and local issues pertaining to development, responding to wider interest in law. And indeed, considering that the law covers all aspects of human endeavor, the Institute offers short courses in several disciplines, including human rights, public prosecutions, cybersecurity and computer forensics, taxation law, criminal investigations and the law firm management, labor law and industrial resolutions, corporate governance and the law, contract negotiations and the law. For more details, visit our website, that's www.ziale.org.zm, or email info@ziale.org.zm or info@ziale.org.zm. That's info etu@ziale.org.zm, or call us on +211 125 4581, or come in person to stand number 36983, Andrew Mwenya Road, off Church Road, Rhodes Park, Lusaka. Follow us on social media. That's Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education. ZIALE, a center of excellence for law practice training.
Good afternoon, we are back. We were with TCZ, now we have come to the next stand, the National Forensic Authority stand, and trust me when I tell you I had an emergency and then the National Forensics Authority just came in and swooped in and made it so that the emergency is no longer an emergency. So as we come to this stand, as we continue visiting the stands of the people exhibiting at the higher education Indaba, I will hand you over to Madam who will introduce the Director General of the authority, and then they will tell us about the National Forensics Authority, and most importantly, why did they decide to come to the higher education Indaba and support the higher education authority in this national venture that we are doing. Let me hand over and we'll hear from the National Forensics Authority. Ma'am.
Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tingase Zulu from the National Forensic Authority. With me here, I'm with the Executive Director, Brigadier General Lawson Tsumapuka, and I'm going to hand over to him for more, so that you can hear more about the National Forensic Authority. The Executive Director, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. So the National Forensic Authority is a semi-autonomous body under the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. The National Forensic Authority was established under the National Forensic Act number 2 of 2020, and it was operationalized on the 5th of May 2021. So the National Forensic Authority has a mandate to regulate forensic science and forensic pathology in the country. So our vision is basically to be a reliable and trusted regulator in the country, and we are here to promote the administration of justice and public safety. We also promote the criminal justice system by ensuring that there's confidence in the criminal justice system by providing scientific innovations and integrity-based regulations and standards. So, what are the fields that we look at in terms of regulations? There are basically two broad arms. There is forensic pathology and forensic science. Forensic pathology is basically to do with investigations of suspicious deaths, or indeed medical legal death investigations. And then we have the other arm, which is forensic science, which is quite wide. Forensic science has about 4 fields that we are currently regulating. That is forensic biology, where there is DNA fingerprinting and serology. And I think people are more interested in DNA fingerprinting, where there is paternity testing. But indeed, paternity testing is just a by the way. It is a criminal lab. Then there's the field of forensic chemistry and toxicology, the field of ballistics and patterns. Ballistics has to do with offshoots of gunshots, and then patterns, questioned documents, and fingerprinting. Then the other field is digital forensics and multimedia. So in all these 5 fields that I've mentioned, we come up with regulations, standards and guidelines. And also we are mandated to license all forensic service providers, licensing and accrediting. So in licensing and accrediting, there are different standards that we look at. And one of the standards has basically got to do with academic qualifications or indeed forensic education. And that's what brings us to support the Higher Education Authority. Of late, there's been a lot of institutions that have come up with forensic-based programs. There are institutions that are offering cybersecurity, digital forensics, institutions that are offering forensic science. But the offer of these fields is not subject to regulation. I'll give you, for example, in the medical field, we have the Health Professions Council of Zambia that works with the Higher Education Authority in approving the curriculum for health sciences or indeed medical sciences. And in the same vein, that's what we are looking at. We are looking at collaborating with the Higher Education Authority, working with the Higher Education Authority so that all those institutions that offer forensic related courses have their curriculums reviewed and approved by the National Forensic Authority so that they are in line with what is required in the workspace or indeed in the industry. So that is what brings us here to coordinate and indeed work hand in hand with the Higher Education Authority with coming up with this kind of coordination in promoting forensic education. So what do we bring as an institution to the criminal justice system? You are aware that in the past, most of the cases that will be taken to court, they will be based on testimonial evidence. But now we are saying that there's no way we can base indeed exculpation or inculpation of an individual based on testimonial evidence. So forensic science is the application of science in the criminal justice system and in the civil justice system so that objective evidence is brought forward to either exculpate an individual or indeed inculpate an individual. And this is where the National Forensic Authority plays a key role. So far, we've gazetted a number of standards and guidelines. One of the standards and guidelines has to do with the practice of forensic pathology. The other one has to do with the management of a crime scene in terms of picking of DNA evidence, which is supposed to be used in comparing the DNA that is picked from a crime scene and indeed that would be picked from a suspect. Then also we've come up with guidelines for the survivors of gender-based violence or indeed sexual assault. Currently, we have guidelines that are coming up, rather standards and guidelines for the management of a crime scene. You are aware that in the past, crime scenes have been managed in a manner where maybe there could have been one or two lacunas leading to compromise of the evidence that is supposed to be adduced before court. So in coming up with standards and guidelines for the management of a crime scene, we shall ensure that there is a crime scene team composed of different professions, from criminal investigators, forensic scientists, forensic photographers, and other individuals that are key in the management of a crime scene. And of course, cordoning of a crime scene using the minimum standards that are required. In so doing, we shall ensure that we have a quality chain of evidence, meaning that the evidence moving from a crime scene to submission in courts will be objective evidence. So that's the value that the National Forensic Authority brings in the criminal justice system. Apart from that, we are coming up with a national DNA database. The national DNA database, one of the uses is for statistical analysis, for DNA matches. Then it will also be used for research and also for ancestry tracing. We'll be now able to explain immigration of different tribes or indeed ethnic groups into Zambia using science rather than what has been used in the past, where we've had testimonial from those who've been there before us. So we shall combine both the traditional testimonial stories about how individuals, ethnic groups are in Zambia, where they came from, but that now will be linked to science. We can use DNA evidence to trace where different ethnic groups could have come from and how different ethnic groups within the country are related. So that is the value that the National Forensic Authority brings. Then the other innovations about what has been talked about in the Indaba here, the digital platform. We have a digital platform for DNA. We are coming up a digital platform for ballistics, fingerprints. This will make it easy, rather than using manual methods to match fingerprints, would be able to just input into a digital platform and the match would be there, and indeed a suspect identified, or indeed those who could have been incarcerated, exculpated from having committed that offense. So going forward, the criminal justice system shall provide the confidence that is required in as far as the community is concerned and administration of criminal justice is concerned. So in a preamble, that is what the National Forensic Authority is all about, and that is why we are here, so that we can add value to the forensic field through collaboration with the Higher Education Authority. I thank you for having the National Forensic Authority. Have a good and blessed day. Thank you.
Let's build the industries that power our...
Brigadier General Lawson Mapoka, he's just offloaded the full package of what the National Forensic Authority does. As you've heard, that the National Forensic Authority is the regulator of the forensic science and forensic pathology in Zambia. So you've heard for yourselves. So if you want to hear more about the National Forensic Authority, you can contact us. We are situated, we are being accommodated in the former Ministry of Justice building, just behind the Ratsa. We are at the corner of Jacaranda and Fair Road. You can visit us. You are welcome. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Economy. Let's empower small businesses and help them grow. Let's help you save and invest for tomorrow. Let's build a community where young people innovate and thrive and contribute to a greener, sustainable future. Together, let's make it happen. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible. Let's build industries that power our economy. Let's empower small businesses and help them grow. Let's help you save and invest for tomorrow. Let's build a community where young people innovate and thrive and contribute to a greener, sustainable future. Together, let's make it happen. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Let's build the industries that power our economy. Let's empower small businesses and help them grow. Let's help you save and invest for tomorrow. Let's build a community where young people innovate and thrive and contribute to a greener, sustainable future. Together, let's make it happen. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
It is the third day of the higher education Indaba right here in Livingston, and we are currently on the exhibition stands. And as you can see behind me, we have ZICB, and earlier we did have National Forensic Authority to just give us some insights on what they are offering on their stand. So I will just give the opportunity to ZICB to just introduce themselves as well as just tell us more about their company and what they're offering. Hello, good morning, and how are you?
Thank you, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you so much. So can you introduce yourself and the services that you're offering?
All right, thank you. I just hold on to it. Okay. Good morning, viewers. My name is Luvuton Talasha, and I am a relationship officer at Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. And we are a fully Zambian-owned bank. We incorporated in 2017 and started our operations in 2018. We are in 6 of the provinces in Zambia, and we have 22 branches across the country. As I mentioned earlier, we're a fully Zambian-owned bank. We're shareholding structure containing NAPSA, IDC, as well as workers' compensation. So why are we here at the Higher Education Authority Indaba? As a Zambian-owned bank, we want to show the support to the education sector, as well as position ourselves as a partner of the higher learning institutions in Zambia. Majority of the higher learning institutions present here today are actually our bank customers. However, we want to extend it to those that are not currently banked by ZICB. We are across the 22 branches, but we are also a fully digital bank.